Hello everyone and welcome back to Alf Time. I'm Alf and I love Super Mario Sunshine. Is it a good game? One of my favorite things about Mario Sunshine is Isle Delfino. This beautiful vacation spot is probably the most culturally and thematically complete place Mario has ever visited. It's got towns, infrastructure, and even a justice system. I love how they set one of Mario's silliest adventures in such a thorough world. I also think it's really funny that the inciting event of this game's plot is Mario being framed for a crime. Bowser doesn't even kidnap Peach for like a while. You just have to clear your name from this identity-thieving criminal. Mario would never deface Isle Delfino. He's a good guy. Right? Okay, this is not looking good. Surely Mario is better than this. If Mario is a criminal, what makes him any better than this guy? We have to figure this out. We have to answer the age-old question once and for all. Can you beat Super Mario Sunshine without breaking the law? A disclaimer before we get started. This game takes place in a pretend universe. As such, we do not have access to all the legal codes enforced on Isle Delfino. I will be comparing Mario's actions against US law and the laws of the state of Ohio because that's where I'm from. If you want to analyze this in light of another jurisdiction, feel free. Also, I am not a lawyer. I may analyze some of this incorrectly, but I did the best I could to research all these topics on the internet beforehand. If you think I call something wrong, please let me know in a comment. And for Petey Piranha's sake, please do not take any legal advice from me. To complete this challenge, we're trying to accomplish two things: beat Super Mario Sunshine and do it without breaking the law. If you've never played it, beating Super Mario Sunshine is fairly straightforward. On Isle Delfino, there are 7 main levels with a bunch of missions. If you collect the Shadow Mario Shine, i.e. complete the 7th mission in each level, you unlock the final stage where you can fight Bowser and beat the game. And you have to do basically every mission in order. It's not like Mario 64 where we could just skip to number 7 if we wanted to. If there's even one little shine we can't collect, the whole challenge is cooked. Second, we can't break any laws according to the United States and/or the state of Ohio. I'll be looking for a few key issues in this regard. We can't commit theft, so we'll have to legally justify grabbing any items or collectibles. We also can't commit assault or murder, which means we'll need a robust self-defense argument for any enemies we attack. Those are the main ones, but we can contend with any other gray areas as they arise. Anyway, let's get started. We boot up the game and find ourselves vacationing on Peach's private jet. There's trouble on the runway though, because everything is covered in goop. Let's see if we can help. Normally I would just go grab FLUDD, but that's not mine to take. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Fortunately, if you just talk to this guy, he tells you to grab it. I assume he owns FLUDD, so problem solved. It's crazy that he just calls it a water pump, like these jetpacks are lying around everywhere. So here we go. Let's spray this goop, save this guy, and then... There's a big monster in the way. We can't progress the game without doing something about this. Well, looks like it's time for... Can I attack this thing? As a law-abiding citizen, you can't just go around attacking and spraying stuff all willy-nilly. Whenever we encounter an enemy in this game, we've got to ask ourselves a few questions. Is this a person? If not, is it a protected animal of some kind? Is it actively trying to hurt people? Is the force I need to use against it proportional to the force it is attacking with? Let's look at the polluted piranha plant here. I'm gonna say anything that can't talk in this game is not a person. I guess it's kind of a plant, but it moves and stuff, so we'll play it safe and call it an animal. I'm also gonna make a narrative assumption here and call this thing an invasive creature placed here by Bowser, not natural wildlife in the area that might be protected by conservation. And while it did bury this guy in goop, it's not actively attacking anybody. It doesn't spit anything out or try to bite Mario. Legally, in the state of Ohio, we would not be allowed to use deadly force right now. Imagine this was a non-native tiger or something. We would not be permitted to kill it under these circumstances. Thankfully, the game doesn't ask us to kill the plant, only to spray it with water. It is blocking a public place, it buried this guy, and it is disrupting society. On those grounds, my shoddy, unprofessional internet research told me we would be allowed to spray it down. Not trying to hurt it, just making it leave people alone. That's exactly what we do here, and the plant goes away. I guess it left here instead of dying. Not my problem anymore, because it left a shine sprite behind. That'll bring us to our first round of... Can I take this? Or is it stealing? After all, only a criminal would commit theft. Running around, grabbing collectibles, not paying any attention to who they belong to? Sickening. In this case, I talked to everyone on the airstrip to see what they thought of the Shine Sprite. Nobody knew where it came from, so finders keepers. That does legally hold up. I found something and took all necessary steps to look for its owner. Since there were no takers, it's mine now. Think of it like finding a gold nugget in a river or a $20 bill on the ground. If nobody claims ownership, I can keep it. For the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna hold to this logic moving forward. In basically every instance, it seems like the Shine Sprites appear as a result of Mario completing objectives. Nobody else seems to own them, so let's assume they don't. Barring any special circumstances that may arise, we'll agree that Mario can legally grab Shine Sprites he comes across since nobody claims to own them. It seems like they were stolen by Bowser's creatures, and Mario just returns them to the city. And speaking of the city, this next cutscene is going to be more important than you might think. In it, Mario is arrested and taken to court. Thankfully, he complies with all legal proceedings. Unfortunately, he gets framed and convicted for Shadow Mario's crime of covering the city in paint. As a result, Mario is sentenced to cleaning up all the graffiti. We've got to remember that. Mario has a court order to spray all the goop off Isle Delfino. So we're let out onto the streets the next day, and we gotta fight off another goopy plant thing. Almost immediately after, Shadow Mario kidnaps Peach. The only way to progress the story is to give chase and spray him down, which is fortunately legal and justified. Peach is with us, so we know she's definitely being kidnapped. We aren't trying to hurt Shadow Mario, just spraying him with water so he'll leave her alone. These actions then are legal. We're using reasonable force to stop a violent felony. Once we do that, it's off to Bianco Hills. This is the first major level in Mario Sunshine, so let's see if we can make it through without breaking the law. The first shine is the only skippable one in the game, so let's just ignore it. To get Shine 2, we climb up the windmill, and I see no reason to believe we're trespassing. Once we reach the top, we meet Petey Piranha. We have to fight him to progress, so it's time again for...
Can I attack this thing?
This one's definitely a yes. Is he a person? Hard to say. He doesn't talk, but his name is Petey. I'm gonna say he's more of an animal. It doesn't really matter anyway in this case. There's no way to leave, and Petey is really attacking us. He's spitting goop that damages Mario, and he spawns in these things. Bottom line, enough hits from Petey will kill Mario. Legally, we can respond to that deadly force with some lethal force of our own. Petey down, and it doesn't even seem like he really died. Now we grab one more unclaimed, probably stolen shine. Back in for another shine, it's time for the Hillside Cave Secret. We can walk over to the sub-level without any trouble, but Shadow Mario steals FLUDD once we get inside. As with all the secret stages, we then proceed to... not go catch him? These are weird. Where are we? Where did Shadow Mario go? We don't even steal FLUDD back at the end. Whatever, these shines are actually going to be pretty easy moving forward, because most of them are all the same. Walk over to a level, jump to the end of said level, then get the shine. Unless I specify, we can safely assume that all of the secret shines can easily be obtained without breaking the law. On to Shine 4, Red Coins of Windmill Village should be interesting. Randomly, 8 red coins have appeared in the town, and collecting all of them causes a shine to appear. I have no idea what causes that mechanically in the world. Did Bowser leave these here? All we're concerned with is, can I take this? Or is it stealing? Thankfully, this is another case where talking to an NPC helps us out. This guy seems confused about the red coins, and he does not know where they came from. To me, this indicates that they're a magical creation from Shadow Mario. They're left out in the open, and they don't belong to anybody nearby. Again, this should be finders keepers. We can collect each coin and grab that shine. Moving forward, I'll likewise assume that all the red coins are enchanted guardians of the stolen shines, not property of Isle Delfino's citizens. As we reach shine number 5, things are really gonna get tough. Petey Piranha is back, and he's drenched the village in goop, trapping some of its residents. We have to fight him to get the shine, but, he's sleeping. According to the law, you can only attack a person or animal if they're actively trying to attack you. Legally, we can't just kick his butt because he was being mean before we got here. He's taking a nap. However, he's still in Bianco Hills, and the people have reason to feel threatened. Think of it like a wild bear wandered into your house, then fell asleep. We can't kill him, but we can use reasonable force to try and scare him off. So, we can progress the game by annoying him with these pink... things. Is shooting the pink sucky things animal abuse? I don't think so. They voluntarily attach themselves to FLUDD's nozzle. It's like swatting a bee that flies into your face, right? Let's go with that, otherwise this will be a very short video. Once we wake up Petey, this becomes a much easier question. He starts flying around, dropping deadly projectiles, and terrorizing the city. Obviously, we have legal grounds to respond by killing him. Another fight, another shine. Shine 6 is another free secret stage, so we're off to Shine 7. In Bianco Hills, we might have trouble. Unlike at the beginning of the game, he doesn't kidnap Peach here. He doesn't steal anything from us, and he's not trying to attack Mario. In fact, all he really does is run away from us when we get too close. Is the video over here? In real life, we can't chase after him and spray him with water. That's a crime. Even though he committed identity theft, it's totally illegal to chase down a random guy with water. Yes, he damages Mario when you run into him, but this still wouldn't justify a self-defense attack. He's trying to run away. I thought we might be stuck here, but aha, a loophole. Remember how we're under a court order to clean goop off the island? Well, there's some up here. Let me just aim my nozzle, start spraying, and oh, whoops! Sorry, sir! What, I wasn't trying to spray him, he got in the way. I've got a court order to clean this up. Yeah, this is dumb. Would it hold up in court? Maybe? And maybe is gonna have to get us there. If we keep awkwardly walking around, coaxing Shadow Mario into the line of fire, and accidentally spraying him with water, we can get the shine. And look, he just evaporates when we spray him enough. He was a magical phantom all along, so we weren't even attacking a person. I'm calling this behavior legal. And that's Bianco Hills. Only 6 more levels to go before we can beat the game. Next up, we're going to Ricco Harbor. We've got to fight another plant thing to get in, which I'm going to say is legal just like the first 2. Plus, this one seems to be suffocating these bear guys and trapping them in a building, so it's very justified. For our first shine at the harbor, all the townsfolk are saying some mysterious thing is gooping up the water. When we mosey on over there, Flood suggests pulling this dangly rope thing. At this point, we have no reason to believe this is a squid's arm, so I'm going to say it's not animal cruelty. But then, oh no! Out pops this giant squid monster that's polluting and terrorizing the city. Based on everything so far, I honestly thought this would be the end of our journey. If you haven't played Mario Sunshine before, you should know that the only way to defeat the squid monster and get the shine is to rip his mouth off. I thought that would be completely unjustified, but I was wrong. Legally, it seems like we'd be in the clear here out of necessity. The squid is actively polluting and occupying a public space. If I get near him, he slaps me with his tentacles, causing injury. I can't call the authorities or anything, so I'm legally justified to act. The only way to remove him from the situation is to aggressively pull on his mouth until he leaves, so that's what I'll do. That's one more shine for us. For the next episode, all we do is ride a blooper through this obstacle course, and this guy gives us a free shine. The game kind of implies that blooper racing is some kind of illegal underground operation, like dogfighting or gambling, but I didn't see any proof of that, so we're just gonna say it's fine. Basically just riding a horse on the water. For the next objective, we climb around this scaffolding to collect a shine that's just sitting in a cage in the sky. I don't think this is trespassing. None of the sailors up here seem to think I don't belong. In fact, for the rest of the game, I'll assume I'm allowed to go to all necessary locations. I do have a court order to clean up the city, so I'm good unless someone complains, which they never do. As for this shine, well, it might be stealing. But our job is to clean up and restore light to the city. By all accounts, this is one of the missing shine sprites from Delfino Plaza, so I have every right to return it, I guess. The rest of Ricco Harbor is a breeze. We grab a secret shine with the game's polished and not janky platforming. We fight the blooper legally again because he's violently terrorizing the city again. We grab this red coin shine, which is legal for the same reasons we used in Bianco Hills. And that brings us to another Shadow Mario chase. There's no way to get around actively chasing and attacking him this time, but that's okay. We remember from last time that he's just some phantom creature, not a real person. See, he disappears when we finish him off, so we know we're not actually attacking someone. Shine 7 means we're done with yet another level. I'm kinda surprised we're making it this far. Moving on to this part of Delfino Plaza, we gotta fight yet another one of these big goopy piranha plants. Wonderful game design. Once he's all scared off, we can get started on beautiful Gelato Beach. The first shine here is very legal. Spray this plant to make the secret challenge appear, go inside, then grab the shine. Entering episode 2, this guy tells us that a giant caterpillar is threatening the habitat of the legendary sandbird egg. To, kill it, I guess, you need to get these 3 mirrors to shine some sunlight onto the caterpillar. The mirrors, however, are each being tilted out of alignment by these cataquacks. Man, this is a weird shine. Anyway, the only way to complete this objective, the only way to defeat the caterpillar and progress the game, is to spray the cataquacks toward the edge of each mirror, then violently ground pound the other side, catapulting them into the air and seemingly killing them. This begs the question,
Can I attack this thing?
Guys, this would be completely against the law. You see, the cataquacks aren't hurting anybody. They're native to this part of Isle Delfino, and they're only affecting the sandbird in an extremely passive, tangential fashion. Even if they were an invasive species, this would still be considered inhumane. You can't just fling wildlife into the air and kill it to help preserve the habitat of another animal. So, unfortunately, that's the end of the road for us. Without this shine, we'll never be able to finish Gelato Beach or make it to the end of the game. You cannot beat Super Mario Sunshine without violating US law or the laws of the state of Ohio. If you disagree, tell me why in the comments. Thanks for watching.